So All-Star Weekend, the first thing I want to say is I'm always very, very supportive of the Disc Golf Pro Tour. Very, very supportive. And I try to do whatever I can to help. One thing that I'm not a fan of ever, though, is promoting an event or whatever it may be. And I don't know if it's considered false advertising.
It's misleading.
But it is misleading. So they did that, and again, it might have been something that they don't even know about. Maybe they never saw Paul say that he's not going to the All-Star
responded
event.
immediately to
maybe they didn't see that Ricky was leaning on not going. Like,
they put an explanation out.
If I had to put money on it, I probably would say Ricky is not going to go. But they essentially made a post saying that, hey, Ricky's an all-star, blah, 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 buy your tickets here. And then they did what you
they did the same thing with Paul, didn't they?
They didn't say buy your tickets.
Okay.
They didn't have a link to buy your tickets. They just basically said Paul's an all-star.
Well, we don't know if Ricky's officially said he's not going, correct? It was in like a comment thread.
He's not. He basically, yeah.
He said he's on the fence.
He tweeted basically saying he's on the. No, I wouldn't. I would say he's leaning definitely more towards not going.
Yeah.
But they did
Let me read this.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the
and
Pro
read
Tour
tweet.
posted their picture that has Paul, Calvin, Eagle, Ricky. And says no surprises, which Calvin and Eagle are confirmed. Calvin posted promoting it. Eagle posted his tour schedule, and it's on there. They said no surprises here. The top 4 players on tour in 2021 make up your all-star lead card. And Paul responded and said, I already informed him not going, with the shrug emoji. And the Pro Tour's response was, this announcement is a celebration of qualified all-stars. Participants in All-Star Weekend may vary from qualified all-stars. If all-stars can't make the weekend, they'll be replaced with alternates. The final list of participants in All-Star Weekend will be announced soon. Only thing that's confusing here is nowhere does this say.
This looks like
your official. It's a men's lead card.
This looks like if I show up, these are 4 guys
Correct.
that I'm going to see playing together.
This should have been realistically. Why would you even post who qualified?
So
versus who's going to be there.
Well, so here's the thing.
Because that just causes confusion.
Here's the thing. Being considered an all-star is an achievement, and it is something that should be celebrated. Kind of weird in an individual sport a little bit. Like I don't know any other individual sport that has something like this. So
but it's a cool idea.
It's a cool idea. But like in the NBA All-Star, they would say, hey, these are, I believe it's first team, second team All-Stars. Or alternates. They might call it alternates.
You're
for
calling
East
like
and
first.
West or whatever.
I don't know about alternates.
Or no, they vote now.
Yeah, you have voting.
I'm telling you.
I've never heard
once the slam dunk contest got trashed and like people weren't playing, I stopped listening. I stopped watching.
Yeah.
But back in the day, that's how they used to do it. And if someone said like I'm injured or I can't, I mean, pretty much the only people that didn't go to the All-Star game is if you were injured.
Now on the FPO, they did correct it.
They would basically sub out the person. What did they do on the FPO? What do you mean they corrected it? Did someone say they weren't going?
So FPO says 4 strong seasons earned these women their spot, and then in all caps, note, if an all-star can't make the all-star weekend, the next most qualified player will be selected as an alternate.
Yeah. I think it's just confusing. I think they should have probably just done something that said, hey, these are all the people that qualified for the all-star weekend, and then just waited for people to say if they're coming or not, and then promote those people that are coming. That's all I'm going to say. And again, not that huge of a deal. The only thing I just didn't like is that they were promoting something with tickets, saying like, "Hey, go buy tickets now."
Yeah, right here, get tickets.
Get ticket. Yeah, on the Ricky one, get tickets, and Ricky is up in the air whether or not he's going. So, I just would hate someone to be like a huge Ricky fan, show up to watch Ricky, and then Ricky's not there.
Well, same thing for like Paul or anything like that. Like if you just see this post and you're like, "Oh, buy tickets," that's sick. I want to see all 4 of these guys.
You drive six hours. I'm sure you still will have a good time.
Yeah,
but you probably have a little bit of a bad taste in your mouth when you show up and you realize, wait, Ricky and Paul aren't here.
Correct. So it's just confusing. It's very confusing.
So let's talk real quick. Like, what is going on with?
Have they announced the formats yet?
No. That's still up in the air. But what is going on with? Why aren't Ricky and Paul going? And I'll first say, I think the timing of the event is not good.
Well, Paul's not playing Vegas. So for Paul, it might just not make sense to go out to Arizona that early.
I just don't think the timing is good. Regardless of whether you're playing Vegas or not, I don't think this is like a preseason.
Yeah.
Is what they're kind of having it play as a little bit. But in an all-star format with the all-stars, I think this
would
makes
feel better if it was
end of the year.
or end of the year.
Like,
Well, the issue with disc golf, and it's probably most individual sports, is like disc golf has a hard end at the Pro Tour Championship, to where like most players after the Pro Tour Championship, I've heard so many of them talk about like they don't want to touch a disc for weeks.
But so they're not playing. That's the thing, though, is I think that's where they have to get away from like playing at this All-Star event. If you had an All-Star event that was like long drive, most accurate, putting, whatever. If you had like a fun thing like that and you go to a fun place like Orlando and they put you up at a nice resort and you're chilling by the pool and then you just show up for an hour event to see how far you can throw a couple times and they pay you decent money to do that, I don't think people are going like, I don't want to do that at the end of the season. It's like a nice celebration
now, here's
kind
what
of
you
event.
could do. Here's a happy
Mid-season,
medium.
I just don't think it's going to work because if you look at my schedule, I'm doing all the Elite Series. When are you going to have that?
Well, I'll say here's a happy medium is you could do it at the end of the regular season, which is Worlds. So have it like
interesting.
Worlds ends on Sunday.
Okay.
You could do it that Sunday, or you could do it maybe like on the Tuesday or Wednesday before Worlds or something, like a little pre-tournament.
I mean, I don't think you ever do anything before Worlds.
I don't know, but around that frame to where the regular season's over, All-Star event, now we're in playoffs.
The only reason I like it at the end of the season mainly is just because
I think
players' mindsets.
Yeah.
You don't need to have players in like kill mode. If anything, you want them to be more relaxed.
Correct.
Like these players that we're going to see at this All-Star event, I don't think are going to be super chill. Like
because they have a tournament.
Kevin Jones that normally is like that, he will be like that. But I don't think you're going to see people that are very serious when they're playing all of a sudden loosen up. Where if it was at the end of the season, season's already over, it's in a fun, warm, tropical place, and you're doing fun events, and you're not playing holes in disc golf, I think that would open up.
How much, if it was only the events, how much does that attract? Because like, what can you do in disc golf? Have a putting event.
I mean, you could have like a hot shot situation where you put like nets out on the field and they're all different points, and you have a minute with unlimited discs to see how many discs you can throw in a minute and get
like that.
Points.
All sounds fun, but like
you could have a speed test of how have something set up where there's just a bunch of sheets of like wax paper and you see who can throw a disc through the most wax paper, and there's just have like 100 and 200 feet of wax paper and see who
my
can
biggest
throw.
thing is
like there's a bunch
I'm
of like
not
fun
showing
events.
up. I'm not showing up as a spectator to watch any of that.
Who showed up last year? Just the people in town. Like no one's coming out of town to watch the All-Star
But if you
event.
build it up, like
people would watch that. But
the NBA All-Star event, I'm not traveling to without the All-Star game.
But no one hold on. No one right now is really traveling to watch these
Not
events.
right now, but you got to be building it out.
But hear me out. What is more social media click worthy? Like what can you build into social posts?
But why can't you just do that?
An All-Star event
for YouTube videos throughout the year. Like we're out here at Vegas, like the PGA Tour does it all the time.
It's
of like they have different pros come over and they try different things on the driving range. I've seen videos of them like trying to hit into a washing machine because it was sponsored by.
I don't think they shouldn't do that. I think that is a good idea.
Well, that's what I'm
where
saying.
They use like a hickory club. They had guys.
Yeah, exactly.
The Happy Gilmore. They had guys throw on the jersey. Yeah, no, they can.
Like those. That feels like what you're talking about.
Yeah, I guess I just don't think an All-Star event is gonna be that fun if they're just playing disc golf.
No, I agree. You need more, and they've talked about possibly adding skills, but I think it needs to be both. I think if you're not playing, even if it's like a
but the timing
doubles
of it, I think the timing of it matters.
Maybe make it a match play or something. The timing definitely matters.
The pros are going to be so much more relaxed.
Earlier before this, right now is I think one of the worst times before the season.
Everyone's like trying to get their discs dialed in.
Well, yeah, because like for instance, you have a player like Paul who's like, I'm not going out to the West Coast that early. Why would I go out just for the All-Star event and then be stuck out there? You have Ricky who's like, I just switched sponsors. I want to get more dialed in because like the All-Star event, winning it's cool and all, but I'd rather have like just a focused week of practice in Vegas or wherever I'm going to be. You have players like that who are like, I'm passing on it. If this was like you're saying, right after the Pro Tour Championship, or maybe factored into the Pro Tour Championship or something, so you already have people coming to watch disc golf, and then they have these All-Star Skills Challenge after or something, then I think it makes sense.
What do you think?
But
What do you think about doing like instead of just like a tournament style? What do you think about doing like a skins?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It could be match play. It could be skins. It could be doubles skins. Like maybe you have Paige and Paul versus
kind of mix it up
Ricky and Kona. I don't know. Do whatever.
I do think at the end of the season, if you do like another tournament, it's just gonna be like.
Well, that's why I think if you attach it to it, honestly, the Pro Tour Championship's the best time to do it because some of the players that are going to be in the All-Star event aren't even going to be playing the final day. Where like
you would have to do it. You would have to do it the final. You
So
would have to do it once.
doing,
you would have to do it once it's over.
Yeah, and then you just have like the skills competitions.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
I mean, you just definitely don't want to get
Or maybe
it,
you do it right before. I don't know.
You don't want to get it to where the basketball All-Star event has gotten. Like, obviously, teams are playing in the actual game in the All-Star basketball event. But when it comes to, like, the skills challenges, you don't always get the best three-point shooters in the contest. You don't always get the best dunk. You definitely don't always get the best dunkers. So,
But the best players in the NBA are playing the All-Star game.
Are playing in the game. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's what I'm saying.
Lucas brought up a good point. He said that NASCAR has an all-star race. So that's kind of like.
How is that different?
What do they do?
How do you make that
know.
special?
I don't know.
We put oil and ice all over the track. Have fun drifting.
Isn't that just the same thing?
Yeah, it's just a race. I
But
guess
it's just a
it's
smaller
just
field.
like only 10 people.
I don't
It's
know
weird.
how it
It's
works,
weird.
but
Maybe
That's what
some people like that. I don't know.
I'm
All right,
I'm
well,
excited to watch the All-Star event as a fan.
I'm
but
definitely interested
I'm
in
not
seeing what
more
they do.
excited than if it was just Vegas was starting that weekend.
Correct. That's the problem. There's nothing special about it.
Well, you can't really make just a tournament disc golf special unless you change the format, unless you do whatever. But
Yeah.
if they have like, again, if they have the cool, if they have like skills challenges, those will be fun. But like the ones you're talking about, they all feel more like one-off YouTube videos and not like stuff I'm paying to go watch live or
No.
I'm happy I paid $5 to watch live on Disc Golf
Correct.
Network.
Those are definitely more things of where you can, like, someone does something really crazy and you post it on Instagram and then it spreads like wildfire.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you're putting players in positions to doing cool things that could be shared on social. So
Correct.
We'll see what happens.
It's definitely gonna be interesting. But
We'll
yeah, I
see what
agree.
happens.
The timing being 2 weeks before the beginning of the year is it's not the best in the world.
Yeah.
I think they're always gonna struggle with that one.